In this tutorial, we're going to continue on the Lightbake of the Fectar truck. We're going to improve the quality of the Lightbake. To improve the quality, we can take a look at the amount of samples. Samples are the light calculations Unity makes on 1 pixel on your Lightmap texture. In other words, the amount of light beams per pixel. These are divided in 3 sources. Direct light comes directly from your light source. In our case, it's the directional light. Indirect light is about the places the direct light cannot reach. And third, the environmental light is the light coming from the surroundings. In this case, the standard sky dome of Unity. Then there are also bounces. This means that Unity calculates the reflection of one sample not once, but 3 or 4 times. For now, I double all values. And click Generate Lighting. You can experiment with these values. Though, the higher the value, the longer the time to render. You can rotate the directional light, which determines where the direct light comes from. Click Generate Lighting to see the result. The next thing we can take a look at is the Lightmap scale. In the lighting settings, click Bake Lightmaps and select the Lightmap. If you select the Fectar truck, you see that it lights up in yellow. Ideally, you want to use as much room as possible for the texture. In the inspector you see Scale in Lightmap. Let's start with 1.5. Click Generate Lighting and we see the map expanding a little. We can increase it a little. Put it on 1.75. I also set the quad on 175 and click Generate Lighting. Now we see 2 textures emerge. One of 1024 by 1024 and one of 512 by 512. To optimize the file size, I tried to get it all in one Lightmap texture. So I set the Lightmap scale of the quad to 1.5 and click Generate Lighting. Now the texture is filled enough. The next step is adding a reflection probe. Click Game Object, Light and Reflection Probe. Set it on 0, 1 and 0. Next, we can adjust the box size to our model. Our model is only 1 meter, so I size the box to 2, 2 and 2, so the truck will fit easily. When you select a reflection probe in the inspector, there are a lot of settings. For now, we leave them all on default. If we click Bake next, the reflection probe will be rendered. With this reflection probe, Unity can visualize better reflections on our truck. We're now using the Unity standard skybox. But to make a realistic Lightbake, we can use an HDRI. Head to the folder HDRI in the Project tab and drag the Treasure Island materials into the skybox material. Click Generate Lighting and wait for the bake to be ready. Now you see that there's a lot more lighting information. We can set the intention of the environment light back to 1. If you want to see your Lightbake better, click up on the view on the layers with the plus icon and uncheck the skybox. Now we see everything except our skybox. Last, we can take a look at Ambient occlusion. This makes the place where the light cannot come even darker. Here are also different settings. There is a max distance, indirect and direct contribute. Start with 2 in every setting. and click Generate Lighting. You see a fairly amount of shadow emerging. If this is what you like, you can leave it this way. To me, it's a bit too fiercely. So I set the values from 2 to 1 and click Generate Lighting again. If you're satisfied with your light bake, we can now head on to a final bake. We can set the settings a bit higher, so everything will look just a little better. You can take a look at the amount of samples and bounces. You can also change the Lightmap parameters from medium to high. Click Generate Lighting and wait for it to be all done. You now made a light bake in Unity, which is ready to upload to Fectar Studio. In the next tutorial, we're going to take a look at the Unity asset bundles and how to upload them to Fectar Studio.